Hi everybody, good evening and welcome back to another episode of House of Medics. I'm your favourite host, Tanisha. So joining with me, we've got a pretty cool bunch of people actually. They are all dentists. I'll go across from this way and I'll let them introduce themselves.
So my name is Dr Dapaah, dentist obviously, and I'm a co-founder and a clinical director of the Dove Dental Wellbeing Spa, Southwest London.
Hi, my name is Dr Kajal. I'm a foundation dentist in London at the moment.
Hi, I'm Estelle Williams and I'm also a foundation dentist as well in South London.
Awesome, cool. So we're going to talk about what the foundation dentist stuff means. You seem a bit more seasoned as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think you said something about the Dove, something that you've got, so we'll talk about that a bit later. But let's go straight into our icebreaker game. Let's play Two Truths and a Lie. Let's start with Estelle.
God, straight in. Okay, cool. So 3 things, right? Okay. I speak Spanish fluently. I'm terrified of birds. And I make candles.
I think
That's a mix.
What do you guys think is the lie?
I think the lie is that she speaks Spanish.
I think the candle thing is a lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Birds.
You're a doctor, how do you have time to make candles?
It's very talented.
Wait.
That was a good one. Maybe.
Okay, so which one was the lie?
Lie was I speak Spanish.
Okay, cool. Dr. Kevin, let's go with you.
Okay, so first thing that I used to be a DJ. Second thing is that my favourite sport is football.
Yeah.
And the third thing is
See, now you're giving it away now.
third thing is I don't drink alcohol.
I don't think you drink alcohol.
You don't think that I don't drink alcohol?
I think that's the lie.
I think that's a lie.
Yeah, I think that's the lie. Sorry.
Okay, the answer.
So,
God.
what about you?
I think football. I think that's the lie. Maybe it's not.
Because I've looked at your
No.
Instagram, I already kind of know.
Oh,
Actually, I don't think I see football on there.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the lie.
maybe.
Which
Think
one?
so?
Yeah.
What's the final one?
What is that? Is that basketball?
This is what I think.
Yeah.
Maybe basketball is
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
I think
football's a lie.
You guys are good, you know.
Is it the lie?
My favourite is boxing.
Oh. Dr. Kajal, let's go with you.
Hi. So number 1 is that I currently have a grade 2 sprained ankle. Yeah, I'm still here, apparently. The second one is that I have a really bad sweet tooth.
Okay.
And the third one is prior to dentistry, I studied biomedical science.
Okay. I think the sweet tooth is no.
I hope the sweet tooth is the lie.
I'm
Who
cool
knows?
with that.
Do you think? Because it does look a bit swollen. It does. I think the ankle.
I think
is
it's biomed is
Do you
the
think?
lie. It's the lie. Yeah.
But I think that doctors, even though you guys are doctors, you're dentists, don't you have to do something to do with science? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. A levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe.
I think the sweet tooth is right.
I didn't do biomed.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Not too bad.
Okay, cool. So, I have 3 siblings. I like being out in the sun. I like to play football as well. Where you guys are looking at? Why? Why?
You look too ladylike.
It's gonna be happy
I don't know.
Do you know how many siblings? Maybe that would be an easy one to
Yeah.
lie about. Because we don't know.
No, that sounded genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounded genuine.
I'm gonna go for the three siblings.
I'm going to go for football, but not because you're ladybug.
What about you?
Yeah.
The football. Or the football was there.
Yeah.
I do have 3 siblings, so yeah. So well done. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. So, first question is why dentistry? Is that the correct word? Why dentistry? Obviously, I live with doctors and pharmacists as well. And I've learned obviously from doing so many panels now that there's so many areas in kind of the medical world. But why did you guys choose dentistry? So just throwing a question out there. Any of you guys can answer, or all of you can answer.
I think dentistry is kind of like a branch of medicine because it is kind of still to do with medicine, but it's just kind of more specialist in one area, kind of head and neck area.
Right.
So it's very similar in some ways, but in kind of the practical aspect, it is quite different because we kind of my reasons obviously personal. I'd like to hear your guys' reasons as well. For me, it was when I started doing work experience within dentistry, and I really got to see kind of what it meant on a daily basis. I think it combined a few areas of things that I liked, like the communication side with patients, kind of building interpersonal skills, that kind of thing, but also getting in the science aspect. It's actually quite artistic when you get to do it as well.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. We can obviously talk about this, but there's a lot of that as well. So it's like the creative aspect, but also it can be like business as well if you like that kind of side of it. So I think there's a few things that I kind of thought, as well as being in a healthcare profession where I can still help people and use science, which was my kind of that's what I enjoyed the most at school. So I thought, what can I go into with science that can help people and that I will also enjoy as a career. And that was kind of where I looked into the career and thought this could work for me. That's mine.
Just to touch on the thing that you said about work experience. So you knew, I actually want to do things to do with the teeth or head and neck or whatever, and then you thought, let me go and find work experience on this, and then you went into.
I did a few things. So I was a pharmacy technician at Charing Cross Hospital. So she allowed me to go into the pharmacy kind of department.
Right.
I did some with like a GP as well. So I did kind of go and explore different fields and see what was right for me. And then when I did do multiple kind of work experience for dentistry, I found that kind of spoke to me the most.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Whereas I just went on work experience randomly just to my local dentist and actually found I really, really enjoyed it. So I think it's different things. Some people go into work experience knowing they want to do it. And other times you sort of just fall into things and think, actually, you know what, I can really see myself doing this. So yeah, it's a bit both. I think the same for me as well, what Carl said is it's like science side, which is really love that, like biology and things, and then also it's you get to interact with people all day, and it's like the combination of those two. Yeah, exactly. So and it is so varied. We do so many different things. It's really practical, which really appeals.
I think a lot of people always think that don't you get bored of looking at teeth all day, or it's just the same thing every day. That's what we get quite a lot. Yeah. But actually, I've never had a day the same. Every day in dentistry is different. Yeah. Every appointment's different. Every patient's different.
Yeah.
So it's always varied, and there's always scope for improvement and scope for kind of bettering yourself, your skills, further learning, that kind of thing. So I think the general idea of dentistry is very different to what it actually is.
Yeah. So what and I'll take this to you, Dr. Kevin. What do you think is the general idea of dentistry? What do you think people think it is?
Money grabs.
I can answer from my perspective, but what do you think people think it is?
Well, I think a lot of people have this view that we just pull the teeth out all day and inflict pain on people.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
100%.
I'd say people, especially in the UK, people kind of like doctors because you go and see a GP.
Yeah.
For the most part, they don't cause you any pain.
Right.
You've been with them, or your family's been with them. You've got a relationship with them. They don't pay any money.
Yeah.
You come and see us.
You charge us for just checkups,
you
normal
pay,
equipment.
And people think we inflict pain. And the first connotation people have is the needle. And it's just gonna hurt.
The numbing needle thing. Yeah, that thing, guys.
But I tell people that's our saving grace because without you being numb, you can't do anything.
We can't help you unless you're numb. So it's a lot better to be numb.
Yeah.
So I say it's kind of go with the initial kind of bit, and then for a long time it works out.
Okay, cool. So how long have you guys actually been doing it for? You guys do a foundation?
Yeah, so we've been qualified for a year.
Okay, nice.
Not too long. Feels like long.
So I graduated in 2014, so I
Oh, wow.
think, well, so coming to 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Dentist, yeah.
Okay, so this leads me on to my next question.
Mhm.
How do you think that world has kind of changed or evolved since you've been there? You've been there for almost 10 years now.
Mhm.
So has it changed or?
Yeah, in my experience it has, and I think every dentist might have a different experience.
Mm.
But for me, I think the rise in social media has heavily influenced the dentistry that I'm doing, because I was saying earlier that people now have become more image conscious through the rise of social media. So people, so whether it's hair, how people look, or whatever, but part of that is how people smile.
Right. Yeah.
And people do often come to see me to upgrade or to correct or to improve or enhance their smile. So that, as a result, has influenced what I do, because for what I was doing before, the majority of what I was doing before, people come because there's a problem. People still come to see me because when there's a problem.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay,
It's a whole new market.
it's a whole new sector that's opened up where people say, you know what, my teeth are okay, Kev, but how can I make it better?
Be better.
Exactly,
Yeah.
do you understand? So whether that's straightening, whitening, doing what we can to try and improve or enhance what we can do, that's kind of the law of the dentistry does. So that's how it's kind of changed, being that person that I've been to a dentist in 10 years and only come because I've got a problem, down to, you know what, and also the education as well, especially.
I think, yeah, people are a lot more informed now, which is great, which is a good thing. Like, it really shows like there's other things than just going to the dentist and just being in pain, and why it's important to come to see us more regularly, and there's different things we can offer as well.
Making me think of bigger than an appointment. I need to. Okay.
Yeah, even things like seeing hygienists, people appreciate seeing hygienists now. Like, people make it a regular thing to go and clean their teeth. Like, it's becoming a thing that people do. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like you would go for another couple of an eye appointment. It's becoming that kind of
like a routine thing we have.
Yeah. You go to your doctor once a year, to your that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, nice. Okay. So my question is, do you guys think that having a nice smile or teeth that work is very important to like mental health? I saw on your page, sorry, Sarah. I saw on your page. I think it was like a before and after. I was like, oh my gosh. And you can see instantly that he was actually like very, very happy. So I can kind of already see as well, how has this been affecting him and how many years is it like a proper like mental thing? Like what was you gonna say? Have you experienced that?
100%. Like, even if it's not something major, but it's, you know, can you get in some amount of pain, that can affect your mental health completely if you're in pain all the time. Or it can be, the way your teeth look, the way if you're able to eat something, people's quality of life. It's exactly your smile. And people have said, you know, have had, you know, their teeth have been in a bad way, they're too scared to come for us, they come, and people have said, you know, you like, this changed my mind, I can get I can get like a job interview now, or I can eat things that I can't, you know, I could eat before, and then, you know, that's made help, you know, better my diet. It ties into so many different things, which, you know, it's obviously some people don't realise till they come to the dentist and they can say, actually, you know what, this is so much better.
And these people get, I mean, I've had quite a few patients, especially nervous ones, who after you finished a treatment or if they've just had a successful appointment, whether it's just allowing you to have a look, that is such an achievement for them because they're so nervous that they're emotional about it. And once you kind of improve their smile and get them into a place where they're more healthy in their mouth, there's been tears. It's very that's what kind of it's emotional for both parties. It's in a nice way. But you see that something, like you said, something that probably for one person wouldn't really affect them, to another person it's everything to them. And they don't smile, they don't speak to people, they're not confident, all these things, because it's proven that the first thing people see when they look at you is your smile.
I think we're so quick to, like, when you see someone to judge someone, and that obviously your smile makes up, you know, how much of your face. So it's something, even if, like, you know, you don't want like completely white smile. Some people might not be the look, it just might be, you know, they can eat. Some people, you know, that's the most important thing. But it's different for everyone, definitely.
Yeah, I would say also that I'd say smiling is a universal language. So no matter what country you're in, race, age, doesn't matter. if somebody smiles at you, it shows that they're happy.
Yeah.
You know, it signifies that they're happy. So I don't need to understand the language to know that, oh, you're happy. Yes, to see me, do you understand? And part of the showing your smile is showing your teeth. And I think for all of us, it's seeing the confidence. So linking it to mental is the confidence level that people have after whether it's socially, whether it's professionally, getting a job, even down to having like curing or helping someone who has bad breath. You can imagine how much of a confidence boost that is. You know? And I think for all of us,
I never thought of that actually.
Trust
It's
me.
like the self-esteem boost I think
Big
people
time.
get from it.
Trust me. Because people will come to me, so I said, oh, so, like, you know, what's your problem? Oh, Kevin. And it's a totally
You
confident
wouldn't even think
space.
that was related to teeth, would you?
Yeah. But it's a totally confident space.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a confident space that you kind of engage with the patient. The patient place their trust in you to kind of help them.
Yeah.
You can't judge them. Even if people say, Kevin, how do you deal with people with bad teeth? Well, it's part of my job. You're there to help. They're in the right place.
So, Kevin,
exactly.
do you kind of see your role as problem solving then?
100%.
Kind of thing.
100%.
And is it like a challenge that you kind of get stuck in? You're like, okay, cool, I'm going to make this person look amazing.
But you know what? I think where dentistry has changed, I think for the wider healthcare profession as well, it's no longer like I'm the dentist, I tell you what you should have. Because there's so much options for people. It's about saying, you know what, this is your problem. These are the options.
Okay.
My recommendation is
It's
this.
this one,
But
It's your choice ultimately.
your job's
So you
ultimately,
work with the patient.
you work with the patient and you take them along that journey.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
important.
But that's true. It's changed from previously. I think it was this kind of idea of you walk into a dentist and you know they're going to tell you you're going to have this many fillings. They're going to tell you you're going to have this. It wasn't the kind of I wouldn't say consent, but the choice aspect wasn't as big. Whereas now I think we want to involve patients in their lives. I want to involve you. I always say to my patients, no matter what I do, it's all down to you at the end of the day. So that's why I make them realise. I'm not in your mouth all the time. I see you once every 6 months.
It's more of a conversation too, rather than you just do what they should have. Like as I said, we do a recommendation. That's what we truly believe is in their best interest. But again, it's not our mouth. At the end of the day, it's someone they've got to live with whatever work we do, or they've got to get on with it. So definitely move to more of a conversation rather than just a dictating.
I'll give you an example. So if someone said they want something called Invisalign, something to straighten your teeth, people may come because of their friends got it or the marketing, they've seen it, and okay, I want to do it. But when I say to them, look, it's a personal commitment, it's a lifestyle change and all of that. And if you cannot do it, I don't care how much money you're throwing at me, I'm not going to do it for you.
So when you say it's a personal commitment, it's because my sister had that. It's something that is painful and you have to remember to put it in at certain times, isn't it?
Okay, so
Is that how it is?
so it can be tender and initially it can be some pain, but for the majority of it, it's fine. You
No, she has right moment.
It's definitely a bit tender. I think people forget it is form or brace treatment. You are moving teeth, so it is tender. It's not completely. You won't feel them. I got some ulcers when I first taken them in and out. That's very common. And then some little ulcers just somewhere like the tray, just rubbed against it. It's a bit like I think people forget. Sometimes it is we are moving teeth.
The teeth,
exactly.
You're forcibly moving them.
So it does look like it applies gentle compression to it. So there is obviously things, and it is a lifestyle change. You can't eat, I have to remember to keep putting them in, I have to take them out when I eat.
So that's what you mean by commitment.
It's making sure it's the right treatment for the patient. That's what you mean.
Because someone might see an ad,
Exactly.
for example.
I think I want that.
I want that.
It might not be appropriate for them.
So if you see us, it's like we tell you, okay, it's great, I do it a lot, but the reality is that, for example, the patient has to wear it 22 hours a day. You see me once a month.
Wait, sorry. You have to work 22 hours a day.
Yeah.
And so you have to sleep with it in. Obviously, that if you're not comfortable wearing it during the day, it's going to be, you know, it's a big, you know,
Like you said,
It's a
commitment,
But
definitely.
you know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
have essentially
That's why you open the option.
That's why we have to have a
100%.
conversation about it. Because what might be right for one patient isn't going to be right
one
for another
person
patient.
fit all.
Yeah.
Dentistry.
That's it. That's it. 100%.
Exactly.
So even you're like, well, okay, cool, maybe
Yeah,
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
Do you-
22 hours.
But some people know, do you know what I mean? But when there's other options for what suits your
That
lifestyle,
person.
Yeah.
Of course.
do you know what I mean? So for example, I mean, one patient was a musician, for example, and they were doing a lot of touring at the time, and they felt at that time in their life, always in different countries, it may be not suited for them. So they considered another option.
Yeah.
Not to say you can't get the result you want, but it's different ways to the same
Yeah, I
destination.
love that.
But I think that's you mentioned a good point about their careers, and I think that's another reason why I like dentistry, because we really do build a big picture of this patient, because I mean sometimes I think they think we're being a bit too personal, but it's because we want to know what is their lifestyle, are they an actor, are they on TV, exactly, like what is going to work best, and I think you really in that way eventually you start to get to know the patient quite well, and that's why you get these patients who will only see you, and they appreciate it. They appreciate you getting to know them, and
All of that stuff.
and believing that you're really treating them in their
Really
best
actually trying to help
interests.
them, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's building that relationship with the patient and getting to know them, and like them, especially if they're nervous, and like being comfortable for you treating, because there's a lot of trust that goes into it. Definitely, like who's going
I
to
hate
like
being
being
patient.
patient? Like it's going to
Yeah.
where like dentists are right, so we understand that completely. It's
Yeah.
building that like relationship with the
Just husband
patient.
now, I've had, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I've had a patient that, you know, he was getting married, and then I helped his smile till he got married, and then I'd seen him for a couple of years, and then he got divorced, told me the reason. Do you understand? So it's like a constant relationship, like I'm into there, then I bring a family. Like, oh, then I see the kids, the family, and I get to know people, do you know what I'm saying? But just to quickly touch on what we were saying before, I remember, for example, I was treating another musician who was missing a front tooth, and typically you would say to the person, oh, we need an implant, for example, yeah?
What, in the mouth?
Yeah, an implant, yeah.
Sorry.
It's like a false tooth that goes into their mouth.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. I don't want to get too...
No, we have to. No.
Basically, it's like, it has like a screw that goes inside the jaw, and then a false tooth that goes to touch it, and you wouldn't even know.
So I'd have to be like toothless.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you want to,
If you lost a tooth,
yeah,
and something that stays in.
yeah.
Forever.
It's better than having something that kind of you have to take
Nothing
take out.
in dentistry lasts forever. So everything has a finite, you know, time it lasts for. Obviously, for different patients, that lasts a different amount of time. It's different for every single patient, really.
Yeah.
Sorry, look.
So, for example, yeah, so I said, when the patient was telling me the problem, in my head I was thinking, okay, this person needs an implant, because of what they do, they're in the public a lot, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I said, hold on a minute. I told her, I went through the history, I said, do you smoke? God said, I know with that lifestyle comes with smoking.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what?
Don't go down this
That
road.
option's not for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So you have to
Whereas-
get to know them properly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas the other person who, like a normal person who doesn't have that career, who doesn't smoke, that will be ideal for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's so many factors they take into consideration, and that's why, as I said, when people come to see me for their consultation, I said the aim or the objective of the consultation is for you to be empowered with options. After that, then you can decide what you want to do, and I just help you
Along
get
the
to
way.
that end result. That's it.
So do you guys have dentists?
Yeah.
So how often do you guys get your teeth checked?
So I mean, I will go for a clean when I feel like I need to. Obviously, I can assess very well because I'm a dentist. So that's something I mean that I can judge quite easily. But obviously, I mean, even being a dentist, how easy is it to do a checkup on yourself? No,
Is it like your friends that are in
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
So like my business partner.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it sells good.
So I've got a good design, but I still see my really my first
Oh, yeah.
dentist coming to me after work experience.
Nice.
I still see them once a year. That's my dentist. So and that's because even though my colleagues will check my teeth if I have a problem, things like that, but I have that relationship.
Yeah.
It shows it's that I'm coming back how many years later.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
it's so true.
Cool, thank you.
So where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 to 10 years? You guys are foundation students. I'll let you guys kind of start, and then we'll go on to Dr. Kajal.
It's so hard to think where you are going to be in 5 years, and I honestly, at this point, don't think I can tell you, because there's so many, like I said, there's so many different options in dentistry, so many different things we can be doing. I think if I look back to where I was 5 years ago, like I was just starting dentistry, so that's such a long time, but definitely different options. I'm doing a hospital year next year, so maybe go down a specialist route, or maybe then...
Sorry, so just starting with that.
Go for it,
When you say you're doing hospital, and Dr. Kevin's like,
I don't think they've explained what being a foundation
so I think we should explain so a foundation dentist means you're fully qualified and you're
You've done 5 years.
Done 5 years.
You've studying.
Of course, you've got your degree, you've graduated, and then you have a year sort of supervised under, like, with, you have additional support, and you're working for a year, just so you're getting to learn the ropes, basically, is how I sort of describe it.
Because within dental school, kind of you're competent in this type of treatment, kind of ticking kind of boxes. But also, it's obviously, and the theory and that kind of thing, that's what it teaches you. But I think seeing these patients regularly and having your own list of patients and getting kind of speeding up, because obviously you're a bit slow practically at first. Speeding up, getting more confident. It's all about that, and we have some support for you. So you are independent, but if you need help, there is help available. Is that good? Yeah. Okay.
And then after that, after you finish that year, so we're coming up to finishing, which is crazy because it's gone so fast the whole year. But
you enjoyed it, right?
It's been good. It's been so very supportive.
Obviously, strange with COVID.
It's probably everybody's year, so it's great. But after you finish that year, then you have choices whether to go out to, be on a high street dentist, like you to go and see just for your checkups and things, and there's so many things you can do during that. Yeah, exactly. So there's so many things you can do within that, or there's an option to go into the hospital route, so that's doing dentistry in a hospital setting, a bit like medical doctor.
So saying something like is a bit complex for a general dentist to do. So Dr. Dapaah saw a patient, and he thought, actually, this is out of what we call our scope of practice. This is a bit too advanced for us.
Okay.
I think we refer to hospital in a specific department. So Estelle was talking about she's doing a post in a certain area. Like, for example, you do with kids, so it's kind of dealing with children in hospital, or certain kind of complex cases, or cancers, or taking out teeth that are very difficult.
So cancers in the mouth or on the head and neck. So that's will be treated in hospital. And if we saw that in our surgery, someone coming in and we were a bit, suspicious, or we thought it needed another look, we'd then refer that into.
So that's exactly as you said. So that's where you come to your normal general dentist. So we're like similar to what a GP is. You walk in, I can say we see something in your mouth that could be potentially cancerous. I refer to the hospital. Do you know what I'm saying?
Further tests.
Further tests, and then they will do like we call biopsy, or they do further tests to kind of find and manage that situation. So she's going to kind of that kind of environment.
So my question to you is, would you have to then study more, because it's going to be more advanced?
It depends really what you want to do. So if I wanted to if you want to specialise in something in dentistry, you then have to do specialist training. So you do, however many more years. So sometimes 3 years, it's 5 years, depending how far up the ladder you want to go and how specialised. Other times, this year for me is really like a tasty year for hospital and getting to see those complex cases. So for me, it's sort of another year of what I've been doing here at foundation level, but in a hospital setting, and then sort of getting a feel of it. And if at that point, after that year, I can decide, I really like this, I want to carry on switching, or actually, I'm going to take the skills I've learned and go back on to being an associate, which is on the high street.
So a question for you: do you think that when you were studying, it properly prepared you for the real world of actually dentistry?
I think it's difficult for undergraduate degree to do that, because there's so much. I think when people say, what, dentistry is 5 years, what, it's only medicine, what, it's only teeth. How many times have we got that? And if you like, it's a lot to learn in 5 years, and even then there's still further learning that still needs to be learned after that. So it's kind of like I said before, it's like teaches you the theory of procedures, but dentistry is a very practical career. So I could read lots of textbooks and be an expert in kind of writing essays about procedures, but doing it, it's a whole different story. So
You still get obviously hands-on.
You do,
Whenever you finish dental, you're confident in doing it. We've done it all before. It's not just theory. I think people think, well, we're just qualified, we haven't done anything. If you've done
and
it,
you're competent in treatment, but it's more the overall picture that you start to feel when you seeing the patient as a whole, and not just a root canal or just a this to tick boxes. It's more joining everything you learn in dental together. And I think that's what the learning's about.
Okay.
And you can't really, how can you prepare for that otherwise? Other than doing it.
Every patient's different, so you're never going to be fully like you know everything when you've done. You've got to find it. Just got to find. So.
What about you, Dr. Kevin? Do you think when you were actually taught it, it kind of prepared you for the real world, or?
To an extent, yes. But you know, as these guys are saying, until you actually do it, and also when you're in a dental school setting, it's a controlled environment. Patients are not paying for treatment, so expectations lower.
So there's different challenges when you practice.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Whereas in our practice, you know, you're running against time. So if you're treating people who very they want to, they've got somewhere to be. That's another pressure.
Yeah.
If they hand over money, it's an expectation.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of it is also to do with psychology. Trust me. How you talk to people, how people think, how people perceive themselves. Trust me, what is okay for one person is not okay for another person. And it's something, and you can't say, oh, you know, you're like, why can't you be like this? No. You've got to treat that person.
We have to be so adaptable.
As an individual, you know. So, for example, all of us will do it when a kid comes to the chair. Our pitch of our pitch goes higher. Just automatically, you start, you know, talking to the kid, kneeling down by the chair. You're trying to, you understand? You've got to make some adaptation. So it's good. It does prepare you to an extent, but as these guys say, when you go into it.
And even us, I mean, we've been graduated for a year. Until you've been working for like 7 years now. I mean, in 5 years' time, the amount we're going to be learning, how confident you're going to be. If you think back to your first year of being qualified, I'm sure you've progressed so much.
100%.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. So let's go to another few questions as well. We're going to start with you again, Dr. Kevin, because again you're more senior in this kind of thing. What are the pros and cons of your role? Feel free to tell us some stories.
I think what's really good is that you literally can change people's life. The results are almost instant. So usually, or depending on what you do after a procedure, when the patient holds that mirror in there, they see the difference straight away. And I think you guys will know, like, that brings some sort of happiness, especially as we touched on earlier. People kind of divulge their life, so they tell you, I want to change my teeth because of this. So you know
they're really dependent on you guys.
100%. And when you could see the difference you're making to them, that's just amazing. You know, so that's really good. I mean, one of the pro is that I'm running a business, which is good, which is very good. So I really love marketing. So my business partners say I'm always thinking 3D, because I'm always thinking about marketing, how we could do this, how we could do that, how we can, you know, so I really like that, the fun part of it. The cons is that it's tiring. It can be really, really, really tiring, and you wear 3 hats. You're wearing a hat for the patient, you're wearing a business hat, you're leading a team, so it can be really tiring. It's really, really busy. So it's a work-life balance kind of thing. Also, sometimes you may do something for a patient, the patient doesn't necessarily see or appreciate, which can be difficult. So that could be one thing, but And also you get the patients who are really pernickety and they're like, oh, and you're like, it's fine, it's fine. And they're like, no, hold the mirror. No, it's fine. It's, you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, but the good thing about that is that once you treat them, you look after them, they'll never leave you. Because
they're loyal to you.
Because and it's almost an achievement for yourself because you know how the person
How difficult they were before the beginning.
I'm saying, some of my friends say to me, Kevin, I don't know how you deal with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you get to, and that's what we talk about adapting, you get to realise, and you get to.
And it happens in a short space of time. I mean, I only started my foundation position last year, September. So, I mean, if you think about that, it's not that much time. But even when I'm talking to patients, I'm like, they're like, oh, well, I see you next time. I'm like, actually, my training positions are over, so it'll be another dentist. And they're like, no. And I thought, oh my God. Like, it's nice for them to actually feel like that, but then I start feeling guilty.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I'm not going to say it to anyone else.
Avoid it.
I'm surprised. I thought like, when you're working somewhere for a few years and that might happen, but it actually does happen within a short time.
It's like a testament how you treat people and how you look after. We have I think dentists have a bad rep of being like a demon dentist or media and stuff like that. Some patients are very scared or have terrible past experience. Mainly, and I think it's like if you just look after someone well and you're genuine, then they actually can really appreciate and see that. So,
obviously, we always have bad days. Have patients who aren't very appreciative and that kind of thing, or you have a difficult patient, or
how do you guys
these kind of things. It's difficult because if you think about it, we see many patients a day, and then if there's a patient who's kind of caused a bit of a problem for us or made us feel a bit upset, because we're human as well, we have to snap out of that because the next patient's coming in and we have to.
So you have to kind of emotion sometimes.
Sometimes you have to do it just for yourself. Yeah. But as long as you know that for me, it's like, as long as you know that you've done the right thing for that patient and you've treated them well, you can always sleep well at night, if you see what I mean. If your intentions are always good.
Sometimes I say to the patient, I might not be the right dentist for you. I put out there straight on. Oh, no. Trust me, I'm always the first person to say, because listen, if we're not gonna get on the same program, especially if it's a long treatment, I need you to be committed. We're working this together. And if I don't see that, maybe this might not be for you. You know what I mean? So. And
I think that's what I have to learn. Like that kind of. I'm sure that comes with experience. But the saying no and the being a bit more firm and knowing when to kind of not continue and.
Or if someone really wants a treatment and I say, I really don't recommend this for you, and they'll go, no. If I don't feel I can sleep at night, she'll say,
then maybe
it's not all, that's the thing, it's not all about money. It's like if you just wanted money, it'd be very easy, wouldn't it? To just get money off you.
Yeah, or lie to people. Some people might say no.
We're professionals, and if we tell you something, you're going to believe us. So if we say you need this many crowns, this many minutes, I don't know, and
we can't see inside our mouth.
Exactly. If you put a lot of trust on us, so I think it's being able to say no and these kind of things. It's makes you. It's integrity, isn't it?
I think, for example, what we do in our practice is that we have a camera, so I show you the problem.
See, I wouldn't even want to see. Just do what you need to do. I don't even want to see.
Because some people are like, I need 5 holes. How? Like, my gosh, is he lying? But if I show you,
it's so useful.
If I show you and I say, look, situation, this is my recommendation. It is what it is. Do you understand?
And that's the digital dentistry is kind of help.
Like having an intraoral camera, like I said, it's just you can show you what the problem is then and there, and there's and then it gets the patient on board, and it says you can show you what the problem is.
One important thing I say to patients that, in your words, what is your problem? So you are verbalizing your issue, and I'm just here to help you.
Along the way. Got you. Okay, cool. So let's go on to some of the other questions. Because time is ticking. So Dr. Estelle, you're a part of something called your dental delegate for AI.
Yeah.
medical education. What is that? How did you get into it?
So that was a project I got in over the lockdown, and that was through some medics at UCL, and they were doing a project on how dental and medical students sort of their opinions on AI, basically artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So I don't think the report's been published yet, but we just sort of got everyone's opinion, how they thought it was being used, or like was it a benefit to their jobs or their learning or their life, depending on what stage of their career they're in. Or
what kind of examples of AI?
So AI, like loads of different options really. Like smart design one. I think that's sort of like the note systems where it automatically generates your notes, clinical notes for you, like loads of things. Like it's mainly technology was the main focus of it.
Okay.
So yeah, but it was interesting to be involved in.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
yes, definitely.
Cool. And what is flirting doctors?
So that was the project that I went for my elective. So that's a project you do, like when you're in dental school, you go abroad somewhere, or it could be in this country, and you do work either with a charity or a hospital or something like that. And I did mine in Panama. And I did mine with a charity. They're great, shout out to them. And what they do is they serve the sort of indigenous or the rural communities off the coast of Panama on these little islands who don't have access to medical care. Like their medical care is hours and hours away by boat to the mainland, and then a bus or a train. So that's if you've got toothache and you're miles away, what do you do? So we used to go around by a boat and set up mobile clinics, and sometimes they'd be in the middle of the jungle. Literally, my surgery was shared with some chickens and with so it was definitely an experience. But honestly, people were very grateful. They, that's a lifeline to them really. So for and it was medical. They had doctors there as well, pharmacists. I think we had like vets as well. So it was all different types of care. It was great. But yeah, really fantastic opportunity, honestly. One of the best things I've done, during my time in school, definitely.
Thank you. Dr. Kajal, what are your hobbies and stuff that you like to do apart from
hobbies? I mean, I'm very social. I see my friends a lot. I mean, I go to the gym when I'm not injured.
That was like in the gym then?
No, it wasn't. It was on the way to the gym though.
So you obviously turned around and went back home, right?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was on the floor, I had to get Uber. So I'm going to have a break from that. But I think, in general, it is good to have an outlet. Whether that's and like a support system, especially if for a young dentist, it is so useful having dentists who are 1 year older, 2 year older, 3 year older, just to kind of know what to expect, because it's very daunting not knowing. I think, especially when you come out.
I think it's that kind of community and having people around you. Like even like me and Carter work like a similar area, just speaking to each other about our day, and just letting our scene when talking to someone.
Really helps.
Yeah,
it makes us feel better, doesn't it? I'm like,
it's not just me.
I think building a good support system is really, really important, and also, like I said, having an outlet. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say I do sports and all the rest of it. I don't. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's like a stress release.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, be personal to you. Just make sure you do it. Don't kind of just make dentistry your whole life, because it is a stressful career. No matter, we're saying positive things, and that's why we're dentists, but it is inherently very stressful. So I think having a bit of an outlet and a hobby and something else to do, take your mind off it, I think is important.
Lovely, thank you. That's Kevin. Now, on his Instagram page, guys, he calls himself the people's dentist. So what is it about people that you love so much? Like, talk us through that.
I think one of my strengths is connecting with people. Because in a sense, if people buy into you, they trust you, and they relate to you. So one thing I have is that within 5 to 10 minutes, I almost always find a common ground to connect with someone. So whether it's music, whether it's what they do, I always find something that I can have a topic to talk about. And I think once you connect and people like you, then the dentistry comes second.
Definitely.
Right.
So
then they start to trust you, your person.
So for example, my checkups are 45 minutes to an hour.
Just for
that's long, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's very long. And part of it, the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, I'm not picking up anything. I'm just talking to you. And I get to know you, I get to understand you, get to understand your desires, what you want, this and that. Trust me, like, you pick up so many things. Like, one of my patients, he fixes air cons, he installs them. We did an air con. He comes to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm also networking a lot of people for.
It's interesting just getting to know these people. Like, I find it really interesting. Like, what do you do? Like, oh wow, like we could talk about it. Even after like the next appointment, I'm going to ask him that next time. Like, it's just
The reason why we like wanted the job, like why we wanted
You have to be a people person.
Yeah, you have to.
if you're not a people person, then the right job for you. Definitely.
People from, listen, walks of
But have you ever advised people and say, yeah, maybe, like in personal situations?
people have some opinion.
I try not to get too involved in that kind of stuff.
The professional
Definitely. But do people like to vent about their job at school? And I'm like, say I had a patient here, well, anonymising everything, but she's a lawyer, and she got a new position, and then she's three of her teeth were cracked, and then I got to the point where I was like, okay, has this happened before? No. Kind of, what's changed in your life? She realised that the new job she was having, she had, was actually not good for her mental health and was causing her a lot of stress. So it's just things like that, kind of actually. But if that didn't happen, she wouldn't have realised that. And it does impact people in that way. So as much as I don't want to get involved in personal affairs, I do think you do need to get to know the patient and know kind of what their lifestyle's like.
100%. And also, people don't usually talk about it. Sometimes not everything goes as you planned. Treatment-wise. But you find if the person likes you or connects with you,
I kind of let it go.
not let it go, but always find a solution. So whether even if I can't provide a solution, I know someone who can understand. But where a problem arises if the person doesn't like you. You understand? But if it could be, I don't know, like, these guys were saying, I try to take teeth out. I mean, take your teeth out, I can do a lot of it. But if there's a situation where I find it tricky, I say, you know what, I've got a friend, he's this person, blah, 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 blah. And I've had a patient that I referred to, they come back to me, and it's all part of the care. Does that make sense? Why? Because they trust your recommendation. Because you know what's best for them. Maybe if I can't provide a solution, I know someone who will. You're not leaving the person in the lurch.
Exactly. They're not thinking, oh, he can't do it. It's that, oh, he cares enough about me to want it done properly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that connecting with people is key. It's key, because people are people, but at the end of the day, they're not just team.
I like that. People are people, they're not just team.
That's why it's the people's dentistry.
Exactly. So what keeps you motivated? Let's say you're at work, it's a Wednesday, it's been a long day. What keeps you motivated on the day?
I think obviously you always have those days where like maybe you're not having a good day, or it's a long day, or it's hot, like especially in the moment, but it's like important to keep, for the moment with the PPE, but like with our like personal protective equipment, so all of our aprons, our masks, all of our like everywhere, getting pretty hot at the moment. So I was having a bit of that week, earlier this week, but I think just sort of thinking about the bigger picture. You think I was going back to, for me, if I'm having a hard time, why did I come into this job? What's the reason? And if you think of that reason, if that's personal to everybody, then you have your motivation to stay. And there's always good things, planning good things ahead as well. So like having something exciting to look forward to, whether that's in your job, like a course or a webinar, you're gonna watch, like something dentistry, geeky in dentistry, or something in your personal life, like to look forward to. I think that's really important. So
I think not to focus on bad experiences. Like I think it's
learn from them.
Learn from them.
Not dwell on it too much, otherwise you just eat yourself up about it.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. So Kevin, let's talk about your business. Tell us what you actually do. I heard that you work with some rappers or people in the music industry. But I can't tell you. But tell us a little bit about what it is.
So what you're asking? Sorry, you're asking me.
Tell us about your business.
Oh yeah, so we set up. So it's not only myself. I've got 2 business partners, 3 of us.
Hey, dentists as well.
One of them is, one of them isn't.
Okay. Nice.
So one of them is the managing director, which is K Dove, and one of the business partners, Dr. Jamal Johnston, who's a mentor of mine.
Okay. Nice.
So we came together to set up a practice from scratch. Yeah, so we started in October 2019.
Okay.
We're an independent or private practice, so yeah, that's what we do. So and so we basically do a lot of general dentistry, so like getting our pain, fillings, all that kind of stuff, but we do quite a lot of aesthetic or cosmetic dentistry. So we do that, and we do like the Botox fillers, skin tightening, that kind of stuff as well. So that's what we do. And we've been, obviously we had COVID and all of that, so that was tricky for everybody, like any business, especially a new business. But then what then happened is that we were then doing a lot of free Zoom consultation. So we were talking to a lot of patients, and over 3-month period we spoke to over 100 patients.
Oh wow.
And then from there,
Was that through like marketing?
yeah, but it was also providing a service to the community, because people, like, even if people were in pain, I would give them antibiotics. So I'll meet them at the practice, and obviously and give them the antibiotics. Well, and that really went a long way.
Advice.
Advice and over the phone, that kind of stuff, or Zoom. Even people, even UK people contacted. That's how crazy it was. But yeah, and since we opened back in June, things have been really, really busy. So, but yeah, we do treat a few high-profile patients, which is good to know that people trust you. Yeah,
Nice.
and that's
Okay. I don't know if this is a weird question, but does your business have a specialty in what you specialize in to do with teeth, or is it just everything?
It's general. So yeah, we don't specialize in anything as such, but we have more of a focus. So for me, and I think what these guys are kind of working at is what they're like and what they're strong in. So I've been in that process. So I did foundation, I did hospital job. So I worked in Kingston, St George's Hospital. I worked with kids. I worked in oral surgery. I did a lot of specialties. My hospital was really, really great. And from there, I realized, and I also worked in a practice as well, so I didn't realize that, you know what, I have more of a focus. So my focus is, the straightening your teeth, the veneers, smile makeovers, that kind of thing. That's what I kind of spend more of my time doing. Composite bonding, which is quite common right now. Yeah. So, and also if there's any other specialties, I've got a lot of friends around me which I can send to.
Okay.
So yeah.
So which of you lives closest to Kingston then? So I can book them.
I live
Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, cool. So, as our viewers will know, we have had a giveaway happening. It's really kind of for students, but it's for anybody that has entered as well. You can win a Lenovo laptop, like an iPad kind of thing, but it's Lenovo. Loads of study kits, notepads, highlighters, pens, and stuff like that. So today we are gonna pick a winner. Who wants to choose?
Can I enter? Too late to enter.
Too late to enter. Who wants to pick?
I'll do it.
Okay. Give it a little.
I have so much power right now. Okay, what are we doing?
I'm scared. Why am I scared?
And the winner is at CIMDSS._, Sims._.
Let me have a look. Congratulations, also. Yeah, Sims. Congratulations, Sims. You're the winner of our giveaway. So what we'll do, somebody from the Instagram account will DM you exactly what to do then. So we're just gonna go through you guys again to let everybody know your social media handles, your business handle, and how people can contact you if they want to speak to you guys. So we'll start from Dr. Estelle.
Yeah, sure. I'm Dr. Estelle, and you can contact me on Instagram. It's at Estelle the Dentist. And any help with like people getting into dental school, do some coaching with that, or just any advice in general, just shoot me a message. It's fine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, again, I'm Kajal. My Instagram handle is at dr.kajal.bds. So message me about anything, follow, like.
Dr Dapaah, that's my Instagram. our business or practice account is Dove Dental Spa UK. Yeah, and just hit me up, message me, DM me. More than happy to help anybody.
Awesome, thank you. And if you want to follow me, guys, my name is at Tanisha with 2 A's. Is there an underscore? There is an underscore and an X as well. So you can find us on socials. Our website is houseofmedics.org. Our TikTok is We Are House of Medics. The Instagram is We Are House of Medics. The Twitter is House of Medics. And the LinkedIn is House of Medics. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Go and enjoy the sun and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Hi guys, me again. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe and share the link for all our previous videos and this one. And just so you know, if you know anybody that loves skincare, we've got a massive skincare giveaway coming. So head over to our YouTube, not YouTube, sorry, this is YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of that stuff for more information and we'll see you again soon. Bye.